And the Own It podcast brought to you by Infinite Real Estate Group. We're here with Jared, Chad. Come on, Andrew. Get with this here.
Andrew. And
Our special guest. We're actually here getting to know one of our real estate agents, Shannan Gurney.
Welcome to the show, Shannon.
hi, Shannon.
How are you?
Oh, I'm excited for this one. Shannon is one of the OGs in Infinite Real Estate. Started her career, and she is going to die here in this career.
Yes.
It's infinite.
Bleeding blue.
Oh, wait, we don't die in infinite. Just kidding. All right. Well, welcome, Shannon. And yeah, let's kind of jump into this. Like I said, Shannan Gurney, you've had your license now for 2 years?
Almost 2 years, yeah.
Almost 2 years. Super excited about that. So I want to be able to get to know Shannan and kind of, yeah, like I want our audience to know an amazing rock star. She has come in as a brand new agent and just like kicked ass from the beginning. And so really cool to have her on our team and at our brokerage. And I'd love for you to kind of share some of the things that you do that has set you apart from the average agent.
Totally on the spot, right, Jared?
Yes, absolutely. This is the way we like this. Shannon actually came into work this morning and we're like, let's do a podcast. We didn't even tell her. So
No,
so tell us a little bit about yourself.
okay. Well, I've lived here my whole life in
Where's here?
American Fork.
American Fork, Utah.
Lived here,
American fart.
American Park. Born here, raised my kids here.
He's a
Like,
caveman.
yeah, caveman. Through and through.
Ooh,
Through and through. Yep.
caveman.
My kids were it's so funny, my kids actually had some of the teachers that I had in high school and junior high, my kids had them.
Oh,
Really?
Crazy, right?
Hmm.
It's still
Kind of
around?
dates me. Yeah.
Holy
No, the
cow.
teachers.
No, the teacher. That
The
is not a
teachers,
knock on
Shannon.
you, Shannon.
Yes, they still are. But no, I think that definitely gives me an advantage because I know the market around here. I know the neighborhoods. I know the people, kind of how things trends around here.
The
And
shortcuts.
yeah,
Oh, the
shortcuts.
shortcuts and the
Love the area.
How many
crappy roads.
traffic lights were in American Fork
Mm.
when you were growing up, Shannon?
They put in their first one when she was.
I don't know,
Can you
maybe
believe there
like
was still
3,
dirt roads?
like where Lehigh Roller Mills, like all of that,
Oh.
besides it was like all just field and dirt, like in the movie Footloose.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, did you drive a yellow bug?
No, I didn't.
Well, that's sad.
It was yellow
I
and
drove a
Footloose, right? Or
red
was it white?
Nissan Sentra.
They had
Ooh.
Sentras back then?
They did.
You
Yeah,
know what,
back in the
Chad? This
Stone
is going to
Age, right?
surprise you, but we didn't have internet back then
Holy
or
crap.
cell
Or
phones.
cell phones. I got my first cell phone when my oldest daughter was like 1.
Huh.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you how old she is now.
Chad's still processing this.
Yeah. I'm trying to
He's
run
counting up on his
numbers.
fingers.
Just kidding. Shannon.
Google
Shannon-
was not around.
Number one, Shannon's not even that old. And number two, if she was, she looks really, really good.
Ah.
Thank you, Chad. I appreciate that.
I remembered which one's a push. It can be hard. So, grew up in American Fork.
Yeah,
Did you go to college?
I did. I went to Snow College, then I went to Solid Community. I actually got my RN. And
Oh, nice.
Shannon's
I
our
didn't know that.
Shannon's the office
That's
nurse.
cool.
the office nurse. So yeah, I did that, and
She can go. Oh, that was really bad.
Hi, Mrs. Johnson.
so yeah, decided I wanted to do real estate. Didn't really want to follow the medical field, really, and just went this way.
What was it about the medical field?
Well, I mean, I worked in it for years, and I don't know. It's just I wanted to do something different. Got the degree, got the education, which I'm grateful for, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I wanted to do something different. I like this a lot better. I mean, I can still do it if I want to, but
Sure.
I like this route better. Yeah.
Good
So,
for you.
so tell us what you like about real estate then.
There's a lot of things. I'm a people person, and I know a lot of agents probably say that too, but really genuinely, I love meeting new people, new personalities, and I like being a part of their story, and educating them, because a lot of people out there, I feel like, they don't feel that agents make it more of like, it's too business-like. I feel like maybe a transaction, and I like the fact that I want my clients to feel like this is not just a transaction. This is personal, because it's very personal. Buying a home and selling a home is very personal to people. And I want to be a part of that to help make, you know, that decision be a part of their American dream story. I want to be able to help people find that and educate them that will benefit them and their family.
Yeah.
You know?
Where does that come
Awesome.
from?
What do you mean?
Like to be able to want to help someone like that. Like, because I'll be honest, like, and I think I said this before, like, I like real estate. I like um, building my business, but that's what I like the most when it actually comes to showing houses
Mhm.
and helping people make decisions. I hate it.
Really?
I hate the fact that like I'm sitting there, watching them toy over the idea of whether they like the paint or the granite countertops or really like really using quartz instead of this granite. And I'm just like, oh. So, but you're very different in that sense. And so, yeah, tell us more about where that came from and why you like why helping them with that American dream is such a, you know, appeal to you.
Well, I don't know if it's the mom thing in me, but that's just kind of like my personality. I like to take care of people. I like to be a source for people for whatever it is, emotional support, education, whatever. That's just my personality. So it's just kind of an innate thing. And I just like to help people and to see the look on their faces with some of my clients before, even just walking through homes and kind of like what you were saying, make a decision on, oh my gosh, I don't like this paint, or guess what you could do with this corner, this empty space. I like seeing people light up like, oh my gosh, I never would have thought of that. Just give them a different perspective and a different view on things, just to see the change that it makes in them. It just, I don't know, it's very gratifying. It's very self-gratifying, and it makes you feel like you're serving a purpose, and you're doing some good to help people, even if it's just something so small.
Got it. That is awesome. So you said that you been raising a family. How many kids you have?
I got 3 kids, amazing kids, and I have a
Yes.
grandbaby. Can you believe that?
Mm.
Yes, grandma.
Yep,
Do you like being called grandma?
I do. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I know it bothers some people, but it doesn't bother me.
What's gonna be? Are you gonna be grandma? Are you gonna be granny? Or are you gonna be
Mima.
Definitely not
Mima?
granny. Definitely not
Okay,
Meow.
granny.
I don't know. Different strokes.
Um, right now, I'm Grammys is what I say to my grandson, but I guess we'll see when they get older
Fun.
what
Yeah.
what they transition into. So,
Well, awesome. So started in real estate 2 years ago.
yeah.
And some of the thing that has, I mean, obviously we've been through a lot during
Yeah.
that time.
Oh, yeah.
But at the beginning, like your first year, how many deals did you close?
I did 6. I probably could have done more, but I took a little bit of time
Yeah.
off for some personal reasons.
Yep.
But yeah, and it was crazy because when I got into it is when the market completely shifted, and where you had like the home prices were completely inflated. And I mean, we were getting somewhere in between like 9 and 15 offers,
Yeah.
no matter it was a condo, twin home,
Everything.
everything, single family, everything. And so it was, I actually, I kind of liked it because I feel like a lot of agents, when the market is just really easy, it's flow, I think sometimes agents kind of tend to get maybe a little bit lazy because it's just so easy. And I think sometimes your buyer and seller kind of get lost in the shuffle with things. So I actually really appreciated it because it taught me so many different perspectives to look at, so many way to make offers.
Like valuable. I mean, that was
Absolutely.
valuable information because before that, like when the market did start to shift, you had a lot of agents all over like these Facebook groups and masterminds that are saying, I need help. Like, how do I write a strong offer? How do
Mhm.
I like, and there's a lot of things that were taught and that agents took and hopefully educating themselves on to be able to write a good offer. And so it was interesting because I'm always on the Facebook groups. There's one called the Utah Agents, and there was some lady that actually posted recently saying, "I'm having a hard time getting my, yeah, clients' offers accepted," and I'm like,
Right now?
"Yeah."
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, this was like a couple weeks ago, but it was before interest rates spiked again. But
Interesting.
I thought in my head, I'm like, "What did you learn over the last couple years?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we went through all this."
Yeah.
Like,
Mm.
That's interesting that some people are saying that right now because I feel like, you know, you just write a strong offer that's really straight to the point, no fluff or anything, and they're very easy to get accepted, especially right now in this market.
well, this
I
market
feel.
is definitely gearing towards being a buyer's market. I mean,
Yes.
our sales have gone way down. I mean,
Mhm.
we're almost 50% less than we were last year
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah.
But house prices, I mean, the inventory levels keep climbing.
Yes. And that's good.
Yeah, and so and you said it, like right now, just writing a clean, solid, strong
Hmm.
offer, um, will usually win the race.
Hmm.
And I think that's really because sellers just want to have some certainty
Yeah.
that their offer is being not only accepted, that they're going to be accepting of an offer, but that offer will be seeing through to the finish line.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of one thing that I was explaining, like whether you got a seller or a buyer, it's very personal. It's a very personal thing. I mean, they're selling their home for whatever reason. Everyone's situation is completely different, but that's a very personal. And for me, in my experience, is that some of these offers that would come in were just, it was almost so confusing because they were using all like escalation clauses and they were outwriting above asking price and way above asking price, but then they didn't have like an appraisal gap to, actually facilitate that high price. And for me, it's just a clean offer that's clean cut, no fluff, straight. It's just easy, and it actually I feel is very good and very very beneficial to seller and the buyer because it's just straightforward and
Yeah.
they don't have to stress or they don't have to worry. Just write a clean offer. Don't
Yeah.
don't include the fluff.
What would you say makes a good clean offer other than a good purchase price?
Well, so in this market, obviously,
Mhm.
definitely different than if it was a year ago,
Yeah.
if I was writing an offer or anything like that. But right now, I feel that just a good clean offer is, definitely a good size amount of earnest money, depending on the purchase price of that. Usually, I don't know, anywhere from 25 to 5,000. I feel like 5,000 is a pretty sweet spot. It just kind of puts more skin in the game. And I feel like people are usually pretty good to do $5,000. That's kind of what I stick with. And then just pretty much as far as not having a ton of objections and a ton of like addendums and stuff like that. Just something straightforward, like love the house, maybe fix this. If something comes back with the inspection or something like that, something major, just something really clean that you don't have a lot of contingencies or anything like that. I feel that that's pretty just straightforward. And I also think that tight deadlines are pretty good, like typically is like a 30-45 day close. But I mean, if you can stick to like, I feel, like in between 25 to 30, I feel that that's really enticing for sellers because it shows that you're committed. It shows that you're dedicated. You're not going to back out of this deal. And that's kind of what I look for, with my sellers and kind of what I gear for when I write an offer with my buyers.
Yeah, no,
Nice.
when you were talking about deadline dates and stuff, I mean, we used to traditionally be about 30 to 45 days.
Yeah.
One of the silver linings that I saw in that crazy market we had in 2021 was it really made lenders step up,
Oh, yeah.
and it really made them say, like, how do we support our agents and how do we deliver value on our part to the selling agents to make it appealing? And before that, cash used to be, everyone would always say cash is king.
Yeah.
And I don't see that anymore in this world,
Hmm.
that cash is king, especially when financing is so readily available. And I mean, I remember having a lender on one of my deals be able to close it out, get through escrow, appraisal, and get it final pre-approvals all done within 9 days.
That's amazing.
Like, That's never happened before.
You don't see that with
And
most
so
people.
now when we're in this market and I really need to like, hey, we need to make this happen fast. We need to
Mhm.
make sure that they're really enticed by our offer. We're going to, hey, I need you to do a 2-week close.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, no, no problem. We got this.
I've seen it done in like 5 days. That's it.
Wow.
Oh,
That's crazy. I agree with that because I don't think no matter what market, whether you're in a crazy overly inflated market like a year ago or where it is now, I still think that that's important. I think that that's something that is something that you should just always be prepared to write a really strong offer, and I think the deadlines is a huge thing. It really, really can support your offer that you're making. I mean, it can make or break it. I mean, because now, I mean, sellers, if their home's sitting on the market for, 40 to 50 days and they have an offer where they can literally close in like 20 days.
yeah,
I mean, that's huge. That's huge.
yeah, absolutely. So, let's go back to when you closed out 6 deals
Yeah.
in the in that first year.
Mhm.
And we did go through some things where you took a pause on things. So those 6 deals that you closed were at the beginning of the year
Yeah.
as a
Mhm.
brand new agent.
Yeah.
Like I swear you were going to be on track to do 15. Like I think that's what our goal was. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, easy.
Easily.
She's got this.
Yeah.
And so
Easily.
kind of walk through the steps of like the things that you did and what helped you
Hmm.
and what, yeah, give us, share with us your disciplines and your daily routines and stuff. Because one thing I've noticed about you is you're very good at sticking to those routines. And it has been proven with Chad, with Andrew, with Chaz. Like, I mean, when you stick to your routines
Yeah.
and you're disciplined at a high level, like, I mean, it works.
Yeah. I agree. And I think you said it that word discipline. I think it all comes down to discipline, like having a daily routine, um, what you do on certain days, who you call on certain days. It's huge. It makes a big, big difference. But social media is actually huge. It is a huge contributing factor because we are in a digital world where everything's through social media. And I think that that is one of the biggest things for me. I had a lot of people reach out. Oh my gosh, I saw you on Instagram. I saw you on Facebook. I got a lot of buyer appointments out of things that were just strictly from Facebook or Instagram. I actually had a out of state borrower that found a reel that I did off of Instagram, and I ended up closing a deal for him, and he was out of state. So I think that that's a huge thing for me that I feel that's been very beneficial. But really, Jared, it just comes down to discipline. Really making your calls, following up with people, sending out emails. I think a really good thing too is also flyers. Flyers are great. Door knocking, having conversations with people, neighbors in the grocery store or something, and they ask how you're doing, and you can kind of just casually slip it into the conversation. So I remember at one point you had told me when I first started, you're like, try to make real estate conversation like part of like just a daily conversation.
Yeah,
And so that's
it
what I've
doesn't go
kind of,
away.
yeah, it doesn't. I found that not even trying, it just kind of casually slips into the conversation.
That's a subject that everybody's interested in.
Absolutely.
And so when we are out and about, like the number one thing that I always get from new agents, especially when we say, look, your SOI is the most valuable lead source that you have.
Yeah.
And to the point where depending on how you work it, it should be able to close out about 10 to 20%.
Yeah.
So if you have 100 people in your SOI and you're doing a really good job of it, I mean, you can almost count on 20 deals.
Yeah.
And so it blows my mind when people don't work their SOIs.
Yeah.
And the number one thing I always get from agents when they start is like, well, I don't want to be salesy. I don't want my friends to be annoyed by the fact like, oh, there's Jared talking about real estate again. And I'm like, that's not the case.
Yeah.
The fact is that everybody wants to hear about real estate. And the reason they want to hear about real estate is because it is the number one asset that they invest in their future than anything else. And that's a concern of theirs.
Yeah. And one of their biggest return on investment.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
huge.
most of them don't know that.
Yeah.
Well, they should.
But that's what we're here for.
That's what we're here
Oh,
for. Yeah. And so to me, like it is a natural conversation.
yeah.
we don't have to shove it down their throat saying, "Hey, you should be buying a house right now," or I mean, I have done that to people that I care about and people that I know it's the right opportunity to
Yeah.
ask or to tell them that that's what they should be doing.
I was I kind of had that mentality when I very, very first started, when I had all my SOIs and I was getting kind of everything set up. But I kind of was like, oh, I don't want to bother them. I don't want to, say the
Yeah,
wrong thing. But I found I've had more people on my SOI reach out that I see just like every day, like whether I'm at the grocery store, or I'm shopping, or I'm just like at a kids event or something. It's been interesting how many people that I know that are in my SOI that just start having a casual conversation, and it just flows so much easier than it does with just kind of a random stranger sometimes, at least for me anyway. I mean,
yeah.
everyone's different. But yeah, I that's something that I really have tried and want to try harder to focus more on my SOIs and the people that I know, just to kind of get more information out there to them and let them know that I'm still a great resource and I'm here to talk about anything or help with whatever.
Shannon is got so many reasons right now to be the badass bitch that we see in her. Like,
Yep.
I imagine that she is going to get out there and make a statement, and
That's the plan.
it's gonna happen.
That's the plan.
We got 6 months left in this year,
Hmm.
um, and I think you're gonna see great things come from that for sure. So based on the friends thing, the one thing that we do a lot of that I know you have been like just grasped onto and has excelled on was we do a lot of morning role plays.
Yeah.
And those things I'm a big advocate on.
Hmm.
I always refer to a friend of mine, Phil Jones, always talks about um, the worst time to know what to say is when you need to say it.
Yes.
And so we're constantly doing that. And for those that are listening that are in real estate, that are looking to better themselves, we stick to a very simple plan when we're dealing with our sphere of influence, and that is simply the Ford model: family, occupation, relationships, and dreams. Just talk about that stuff because eventually a problem will surface,
Yeah.
and that's when we talk about the problem and we create resolution.
I agree with that.
So
Yeah.
super easy. And if real estate doesn't come up, it doesn't come up
Yeah. And that's okay.
because at the end of the day, it's your SOI. They're your friends, they're
Yeah.
your family, and you just need to be there for them.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised that they'll be there for you
Yeah. And
when it comes to that occupation.
yeah. And I agree with that because it's not always, I mean, if, real estate comes up casual. I mean, I'm surprised, like I said, how casually it just kind of comes up. People ask and it just flows very naturally. But I think it's also really important to just be yourself. You're a normal person. You've got, like you said, dreams, aspiration. You got family stuff. Everyone's got challenges, and it's sometimes nice to just reach out to those people and just have a conversation. If real estate gets brought up, great. If it doesn't, well, that's okay. You're still
Yeah.
having conversations. They still know that you're in real estate. But yeah, I think it's important to definitely have those relationships.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm curious, just over, you talked about earlier, like, hey, been going through some personal stuff, and I don't want you to talk about any of those
Hmm.
topics.
I would like you to talk about all your personal stuff, Shannon.
But what is
Just
what
kidding.
is it meant for you to be, coming from a medical background,
Hmm.
were you doing like 410s, 312s? What was that schedule like?
So, it was just more like it was kind of like more 10,
Okay,
stuff like that. And it
okay,
wasn't something that I did for a very long time. Like I worked,
sure.
in like an office setting for a little bit and then went to school later on when my kids were older
Oh,
than
that's
that.
awesome.
Yeah, so I kind of did that later in life type thing. Um, but I mean, I love working with people. And so even though it's medical and this is
Sure,
they're two different ends of the spectrum. You're still helping people.
sure.
Just in a different aspect. And so I've just kind of carried that over.
Yeah. I'm
So,
I'm curious if, as you've been going through these problems of life,
hmm.
like what has being a real estate agent meant for you? Like having that flexible schedule,
Hmm.
having that flexibility to just take care of stuff, whatever you need to. I'm just curious, like if like being an agent, kind of being 1099, not
Hmm.
having a set schedule has been like healthy for you as you've worked through life.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Um, it has. It's been great. And as far as with this company, Infinite that I work with, and Jared, it's been really good because the support has been there. And that's like the biggest thing is just knowing that you have the support and they're there for you during challenging times, whether you're in the office or not in the office. That's been a huge, huge factor for me, period. As far as the 1099 goes, that really hasn't really played too much of a factor
Sure.
and that, but it's just basically the support, and that's one of the reasons why I love working with his company so much, and for Jared is just because the support's there.
Mm.
Once you're a friend for life.
Sure.
And so I've really appreciated that, and that's really kind of helped me being an agent, is just knowing, having that support. Um and it also comes down to your why. Everyone has a why, everyone has a reason why they do what they do.
That was my question.
Yeah.
And thank you for setting that
Ooh.
up.
So my why has been a
Tell me about your why, Shannon.
okay.
Let's dig into this
Okay.
because this is where the magic happens. This is where the grit comes from, is the why.
So, I mean, everyone's why is going to be different, but I think in some aspects there's going to be a lot of
Yours has
similarities.
changed a lot.
It has. Well, one of the biggest ones is always my driving force, and my why has always been my kids. It doesn't matter how old they are or what stage of life they are. It's huge. And those who have kids and are parents know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older and, with challenges that have come up, my kids are still my why, but it's also more I want I want them to see me be the best version of myself I can be. And I want them to see that, that despite things that have happened, they're still my reason.
Mhm.
But I also want them to see, hey, you can do hard things. You can still be the best at this and the best at this, and you can be the best version of yourself. So that's been the biggest driving thing for me right now. And um, my family, and just, wanting to be the best version of myself, because I think when we are all like that, when we every day we try to be better than we were the next day, I think that kind of spills over to our clients as well. When they see someone who's happy and confident, and they like who they are and they love what they do, I think it draws people in. It draws in your sellers, it draws in your clients, it draws in potential clients to really just, they kind of gravitate to you. And so that's a big thing for me.
What's infectious? It's something that we all want.
Mhm.
We're all striving for, and most of us are out there thinking everyone else has figured it out,
Yeah.
and we haven't.
Yeah.
And so we gravitate towards the people that are friendly, that are looking to better people around them,
Mhm.
and that we're like, you're genuinely there to help people.
Yeah.
Um, but that's the number one thing that I know we've talked about, and as you've been going through your trials and everything, is the one thing that we've been talking about is like, Shannon, I want to see like you owning who you are.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
welcome to the Own It studio, because the Own It
Way to pepper it in, Jared. Good job.
Own It. I mean,
There you go.
this is talked about. I mean, a lot of people, maybe I'll do a separate thing about this, but like the word own it. And I mean, I actually got that trademark specifically because it means a lot more than just real estate, even though it ties into owning it, like owning real estate and stuff like that. But the owning it is a definite why of mine, because,
Yeah.
we've, like I said, we've all have our trials. We all have things that we have to, that what I like to say is own in our lives. And, we have two choices. Nobody else cares. Like our coach, Tom Ferry, I remember him telling us that one time. And it was such an impact for me when he's like, nobody cares that you didn't get up in the morning. Nobody cares that you didn't make your calls. Nobody cares that you didn't make any sales today
Yeah.
or this month. Like, nobody cares about that
Hmm.
at the end of the day. And I was kind of thinking about that. I'm like, well, which I'm really disappointed. My mom is not on our podcast this morning. She usually is, commenting like 50 different comments,
I love it.
and telling me I'm grounded and stuff.
I
Um,
love it.
but it's I've realized that, like, at the end of the day, like, it's my responsibility, and it is only my responsibility. My happiness is not my wife's, it's not my kids, it's not my friends' responsibility. My happiness is mine.
Yeah.
And sometimes I walk around with like this bitch face, like it is like
RBF. It's called RBF.
RBF, a resting bitch face, and I always look pissed off, and I'm like, this year that's my goal because I don't want to look pissed off all the time because I'm not.
I thought you were going to say the RBF was your goal.
My
I mean,
RBF
successful.
is
You've been great at it. Yeah, you're doing a good job.
I'm very natural at it. But no, so as I've been watching you, it's like you're, I mean, one of those women that likes to please people. You like to make sure that everyone's taken care of and stuff. I'm like, Shannon, what about you?
Yeah, at your detriment. I'd be
Yeah.
willing to bet.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and
So what are you doing this year? Sorry to cut you off,
no, you're
but
okay.
what are your goals this year?
For what?
Because
In a business perspective
I'm
or a
talking like,
personal
what do you
perspective?
want your life to look like? What do you want Shannon
Everything.
to be doing?
Tell us
I
everything.
want to know about like how are you feeling? How are you like carrying yourself out? What does your business look like? What does your relationship look like? Like
Yeah.
I want to know that because that's your why.
Yeah.
You can tell that your why is your kids,
Uh-huh.
but I'm going to say there's more to it.
Well, yeah, I think there always is. And sometimes I think along the way when you have your why, I think along the way in bettering yourself or, working on your business better, you end up finding more whys. Whys that you didn't even realize you had, but you realize your perspective when you have a different look and a grasp on things, it kind of shifts and changes. Do you know what I mean? I feel like some of those whys are always there, but I'm sure as I, go through the rest of this year, I'm sure more whys are going to come up like, oh yeah, this is a huge driving factor. This is propelling me to be better, in addition to like my kids or whatever other whys that I have. But as far as business, I just want to keep pushing and finding people and close deals and
How
let
many
people
deals do you want?
before the end of the year.
Yeah.
I'd love to do in between 6 to 10 if I could do that. Hopefully that'll work.
You'll do it.
I'm
10 it
definitely
is.
You will
I'll
do it. You
10.
have 7
I
months.
heard
Wait,
You will
hold on.
do it.
Hold on. Grant Cardone, your
maybe
goal's
20
100 now.
Ooh.
Yes,
10x.
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 But no, so I think it's important to just to set goals, whether even if you think they're too high or you feel like you can't attain them. I think goals are important. That's something that I've always done. Like,
Goals should be achievable,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
that's something we have taught. Like at the end of the day, I'm an engineer. Goals are just math.
Hmm.
Damn it, Chaz. Chaz is our engineer, and all we have is a scene of Shannon staring at me, some sexy guy voice talking to her, and she's staring into it. Just oh my goodness. Sorry. Um,
We need a new engineer.
we need a new engineer. No, we just like to
Yeah,
know
we can
that
slap
we
Chaz.
have an engineer that can take our shit. He's over here on his phone, like sending us reels, funny reels. He goes,
I'm not getting any of those reels.
oh,
We need to add Shannon
I
in the
feel
group
totally left
chat.
out.
We have to add.
We must add.
Actually, maybe I don't want to be in it.
oh no, these are safe. So
Well,
Sometimes.
so work.
sometimes.
Yes.
You're going to do 6 to 10 deals, so probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Well,
what I
let's
would like
just
to.
concrete that. Forget about 6 to 10. What do you want?
Honestly, what I want, I would love to close 10 deals by the end of this year.
Done. We
That's what
got
I would
10
love.
deals.
That's what I would love.
We're doing it.
Um,
We're gonna after this, we're gonna put together that game plan. It's very simple math,
okay.
and we'll run that over
Yeah.
one day here on the Own It Studio. But we are literally what the heck? Let's get it done.
We're determined.
Let's do this.
Do the math.
Pull the
Show 'em how it's
calculator out.
done.
Here we
It's
go.
easy.
Agents here. Okay, we want to do 10 deals, right?
Yep.
We know, and we're gonna just start over since you've kind of taken about a 6, you've taken a break,
Yeah. Took a little break.
10 months or something. I don't know. Who's counting?
It's about 7.
Just me.
It was about 7.
Every day I wake up and I just look and
As
no,
Tom Perry says,
that's
who
Shannon.
cares?
That's Shannon's desk. Nobody's touching that. I said that many
That's very
times.
true.
That's
Actually.
that's true.
That part's actually true.
He has had full faith in you coming
I
back.
honestly thought that was a joke, but I
No.
can't remember. It
That's
was
been
one
No.
of you that actually said that. I was like, okay, that makes me feel really good.
No, that's
Thank you.
Shannon's desk. So
No,
we're going to
Shannon's
start over.
He has protected that desk. He guarded it.
I've seen him dusting it
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
make sure it stays nice
Yeah.
and
I
clean.
want to make
Nice.
sure when you're there, you're hitting the ground running. So we're going to go over this. Shannon wants to do 10 deals. We're going to start from a brand new agent because we know that momentum slowed down. So we're going to pick it back up.
Yep.
We know that every 40 conversations about real estate leads to a transaction, right?
Sure. Yes.
So we're going to do 10 transactions. We're going to times that by 40
40.
conversations. So you're going to have 400 conversations from June.
Until the end of
In
the year.
7 months.
No, let's actually do this in 5 months because
Ooh, to close them
November.
out.
Because in order to get them in escrow, we're going to be closing in
Well,
December.
you
Gotcha.
got
Yeah.
about 6 months in.
No,
Yeah.
it's June.
We've had 5 months in the year.
My goodness, Chad.
I'm
There's 6 more months left.
There are
But
7
today's-
whole months left.
There's 7 whole months left.
But to make sure that
Who's
they get an
counting?
escrow.
We are.
We are.
Looking in for the numbers.
I'm an engineer. Everything is math. If there's a number now, just ignore it.
Okay, we're going to go with 6 months because that last month is 30 days of escrow. So we're going to do 400
Yeah.
conversations. We're going to divide that by 6 months. Every single month, they're going to have to make 66 conversations about real estate.
Easy.
Sounds kind of daunting,
Easy.
but let's go ahead and
Rounding up, you actually need 67.
Thanks, Chad.
Just so you know.
67.
You got my back. Thank you.
It's actually 69.
Oh. Yeah, I
Um,
mean, if you add a couple.
just for good measure.
I'm sure
70.
we'll add a couple.
Yeah, because right now I'm really hoping she does 12, so I'm adding 69.
Yes.
Okay, but 67.
Mhm.
So in order to hit 67 conversations in a month, like I said, I just keep breaking it down until it's an obtainable goal.
Yeah.
And an obtainable goal. David Goggins, listened to him speak one time, and we listened to his whole approach on how he beat the world record for pull-ups. And he just broke it down to the point where it's like every 5 seconds, I need this many pull-ups. And just start with that. Master that, then go to the next, go to the next.
Gotcha.
So we got 66. Let's just go ahead and divide that by 20 working days.
Okay.
Like Monday through Friday, that's when we're in the conference room making our phone calls. So 20 days. So every single day throughout, you have to have 3 conversations about real estate.
Mhm.
Does that sound more attainable?
Oh, absolutely. When you break it down,
Mm-hmm.
into a little bit more realistic. Yeah,
How
absolutely.
how are you gonna do that? Right?
No,
Isn't
this is
that
the way we're going to do
isn't
it.
that the question?
At Infinite, we have a massive database, 20 plus thousand leads in it.
An
But
infinite amount.
even that database, like, let's not talk about brand new leads or anything coming
Yeah.
in. We are still seeing a 3% conversion
We're pumping
on-
life into it.
on 20,000 people that have considered it to be a dead leads.
Yeah.
We're still converted at 3%. We got new leads coming in. So we've got online. That's one source.
Yep.
It's everyone's favorite. I mean, but it's essential, especially as a brand new agent, to just learn how to pick up the phone and make those dials, because at the end of the day, those are the basics that you need to be doing at a high level.
Mhm.
I will
Go
say
ahead. Chad has raised his hand.
the days that Shannon is here making her dials, she always sets a few appointments.
Yeah.
She's really good at it.
Thanks, Chad.
Better than the average.
You're
So
awesome.
Sometimes we all just pause and listen to her because she is so
Yeah.
good on the phone.
yes. She's good at assisting people.
So, let's just say 3 to 4 conversations every single day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does not have to be on the phone, but we always like to dedicate those 1 to 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours.
Just merely for the calls.
My friend Coach Pipes,
Yes.
Bill Pipes.
Bill Pipes,
Bill Pipes.
Bill Pipes, if you're hearing this, we love you.
We love you, Bill. You're great.
But he always talks about 1 hour a day.
Yes.
You're barely making it as a real estate agent.
Mhm.
2 hours a day is what?
2 hours a day is what, like average?
You're growing your business.
You're growing your business.
Well, 1 a day, he said, don't even be here.
Yeah.
And
1
one
hour
is
a
just
day.
surviving.
Yeah.
2 hours you're surviving, 3 hours. Isn't that what it was? 2 hours you're
No,
surviving,
two
3 hours
hours you're building.
you're building.
3 you're thriving.
Three hours a day of phone calling, you're thriving. Like
Thriving.
you're in the point. I mean, you're in the 1 percentile of real estate agents out there. So, and for me, when I break it down like that, like 3 hours a day is all I'm required to do to create conversations. And I know that that's going to put me around 50 to 75 deals a year,
Yeah,
like all day long.
it's
Like
worth it.
it's all, I mean, and when we're talking 50 to 75 deals, you're talking like life-changing money.
Yeah.
You're talking surgeon money.
hmm
But he says, look, if you're only willing to give 1 hour a day, having your conversations, you shouldn't even be in the business.
Yeah.
Go get a different job.
Yeah.
That's what stuck with me the most.
Yeah. And so if I'm only here for 1 hour, what am I doing? So all you need is 3 hours. We can do that in several different ways.
Absolutely.
One thing that we offer that we find good success on is our seminars. We do a lot of classes when it comes to learning how to buy your first home,
Mhm.
getting started in investing.
It's a great way to network and meet
Yeah.
people and everything. Yeah, they're great.
You can get rid of all your phone calls,
Yeah.
all the ringings and hanging ups, and you get right to the people in the seats wanting to have a conversation about real estate.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
So,
I also really like where you were talking about how we do the role playing. I think that it's huge. I mean, it's huge because you're having even though, you're in a different setting as far as you're not talking with actual clients, but it's huge because you're actually talking about real life questions that you're having that you've had with buyers, sellers, potential clients, that these are their concerns. These are genuinely their personal concerns about why they are or aren't doing something. And it really helps when you dive in and you're actually having those conversations with people. It helps a ton.
I remember the first time you came to me because you're like,
It's like,
I just I had family over, and then somebody asked me about the market, and
yeah, yeah,
I just started right in,
Yep.
yep.
didn't
It
skip a beat.
it just kind of flows.
And for me, it's one of those things where I'm always like, look, like, and I've had agents actually recently, agents here, I wouldn't know what to say if someone said, why should I use you to list my home? I'm like, oh no, like, where did I go wrong? Because that right there showed me like you didn't even have to think about it. You knew exactly what to say.
hmm
And that goes back to Phil Jones always saying the worst time to know what to say is when you need to say it.
Yeah,
And so that's why scripts and working our objection handling is so important as a real estate agent.
absolutely. I agree with that.
It can be a little weird at first when you're sitting there. It's like feels like you're in junior high drama club.
The first time we did it, I was like, wait, we're doing what? We really are? So yeah, but it gets easier and I've found it to be very, very, very beneficial when I've come across conversations that have been exactly like what we've talked about. So
Yeah.
I that's something that I really do appreciate it. And I've actually grown to like it a lot, even though at times, you know, I mean you completely just epic failure when you're on the
Sure.
when you're talking and you're role
Happens.
playing. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I pretty much sucked this morning. Tell me what I did wrong.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I thought
it's
you
good.
had something to say, Chad.
I was just fixing the microphone.
Oh, okay, good. Perfect. So anything else? Like, I don't think you really dug into your why, but that's okay.
Well, she's still digging, she said.
Well,
It's
tell
still
me,
developing,
you
which
can't
is
tell me that you haven't thought about your life and what you want it to look like in the next 6 months.
I do. I know what I want it to look like, and a lot of it's personal. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's kind of like a personal journey, and I think a lot of us have that, especially if, people are going through certain things. So it's a very, very personal thing, and I think you're doing a lot of self-reflecting and a lot of soul searching as well. You have your why, but you're trying to find that. And so um, I'm actually looking really forward to the next 6 months in a way that I don't think I have for a long time. And it's it's exciting. It's scary, but it's
Yeah.
super, super exciting. But it gives me a lot of drive. It gives me a lot of passion. It gives me a lot of you want to own it, basically, right?
Yes.
So
Own
yeah,
it.
you want to, you want to take your business to the next level because you've got this passion and this drive for this, new sense of direction,
Yeah.
and so you want to embrace it. And I know that I'm going to find a lot of amazing things along the way, and I'm looking forward to that. So that's kind of maybe that answers your question, my why a little bit.
Drives you. Yeah.
Yeah, drive.
I think that was a little deeper.
That was pretty good.
Thank you. Left you kind of speechless.
That was pretty good, I guess.
Okay, we'll take it.
We'll take it. Now, Shannon has been a very good friend of mine, and it's been like, yes, definitely some trials with them, but like I said, we all have our trials and stuff. It'll be interesting to see
Yeah,
how it transforms you,
yeah,
because I know it's going to
absolutely.
transform you in a positive way.
Yeah,
Because your decisions in life recently have not been easy decisions at all. They have been decisions that are based upon knowing that you are better than this.
hmm
And when those types of um, discoveries are made, like, watch out, like, because
it's like a bomb waiting to go off.
it's gonna be fun to watch. Um, and because of your love of real estate and all that kind of stuff, like, and your kids, like, there's definitely going to be some amazing things on the horizon. So super excited to have you back
Thank you. I'm
and
excited to
to
be
be
here.
working. And we just did an impromptu, so hopefully we weren't a mess on here. I
Sometimes
Pretty
those are the
good.
best ones.
Right.
Yeah.
okay. Would you rather?
Oh no.
Would you rather be a nurse, a traveling nurse for the Chippendale dancers, or
Or
You know they're men, right? Chippendale dancers are men.
yeah,
Okay,
and you're a woman, right?
I am.
Okay,
Thank you for noticing.
perfect. Um, we got that straight. Shannon is a woman. Her pronouns are she and her,
Or just
very good.
Shannon.
or just Shannon.
Shannon.
Just Shannon.
Or
Totally do pronouns.
would you rather? So we've got the traveling nurse,
Yeah.
one occupation with the Chippendale dancers, or be a badass real estate agent selling 50 deals a year.
That's a no-brainer, Jared. B. Option B.
Chippendales?
Oh no, option B.
Option B.
B.
Which one would you choose, Jared?
Well, I am a guy, and so
I,
Option B all
um
the way.
you seem
All
to
the
really
way.
like option A. It seems like you really thought that one out.
I don't. I was thinking about it while she was talking,
Totally option B.
and I was trying to
That's
think
the
of
way to
fun.
go.
No, I'm thinking like, no, not the Chippendales for me. But
Yeah. Yeah.
hmm,
We're just gonna put a pin in that one right there.
okay.
Let's
Yeah.
just put a pin.
It's
We'll let you think about it on your own.
Yeah, we'll
yeah.
just but I will say to people out there who are listening, agents or anyone in general, like it's hard. You're gonna have good days and you're gonna have bad days, but it really is the work that you put into it and the passion and the drive that you have. But, if you're going through hard times, whether it's personal or business, keep pushing, keep fighting. There's light at the end of the tunnel. It's always there, but just push yourself and you'll find it. Don't give up on yourself and don't give up on the people around you because more than likely you have a bigger support system than you realize. And so just keep fighting.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yep. Just keep swimming.
Yeah.
Once said by a
Yep.
amazing fish,
Do you know that fish's name?
Dora.
Oh my no,
Is it
Dory.
Dora?
Dory.
I thought you were trying to think of the name. You couldn't
I
think
don't
of it.
watch movies.
Return it.
I Anybody who knows me, like, I don't watch
Dora.
movies. I'm a creature of
Dora the
habit.
Explorer.
If you, the only time you're going to see me ITV on is probably about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night when I finally get to bed, and I will binge watch over and over and over again two shows: Seinfeld and The Office. That's it.
Office
Good
is
shows.
It
amazing.
drives my wife nuts because she's probably seen every episode 1,000 times with me.
My daughters love The Office. Love it.
So
Good
one of
show.
my
That's my
dreams
night.
here, if we have any videographers that are looking to start something exciting with us here on this podcast, I'd love to create like a real life, like real estate, like day in, day
Office.
out, like office type of vibe, because we have often joked about that this place is, could be the office in
It's
real life.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Just ask anyone who's walked through those doors. It's entertaining here.
Yeah. And so I'm like,
Any
man,
title person, lender, anyone.
we break them down till their real personality comes out.
Yeah, we do.
So,
Show.
but no, I really liked what you said. Just keep pushing, just keep getting out there and making it happen. That's one thing that I'll just leave you guys with is, I mean, this is probably one of the hardest markets that I've been in real estate.
Yeah.
And specifically because not only do we have high interest rates, like it's so uncertain. Day to day, those
Yeah.
things are fluctuating so much. And so
Things are
there's a lot of
changing.
uncertainty, a lot of scarcity around, is it the right time to buy? The ones that are looking have a lot of questions, and there's so many different answers coming from all different directions. They don't know what to believe. So we as agents, more than ever before, have to be that knowledge base the for the people that are looking to buy, for our clients.
Absolutely.
And because of that, they are searching for anything and everything. So to be able to come in with our responses, but then back them up with facts will set you apart from anybody out there.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to hear from any of my agents if someone says, is now a good time to buy? And they say, yeah, it's a great time to buy. Like, you better have more to say than, yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
time to buy. This is
Absolutely.
a great time to buy. And
Why?
let me explain to you why it's a good time to buy. And beyond that, let's sit down. This is exactly why we need to meet. Thanks, Bill Pipes, for that one.
Good line.
One of the golden, responses and scripts that you can have is, that is exactly why
Why
we
we
need
need
to
to
meet.
meet. Yep.
I've used it so many times, but the reality is everybody's situation's different, and they have their concerns. They have their questions about, is it a good time to buy? And regardless of why we think it's a good time to buy, we need to know what their obstacles are and what their concerns are in order to help them understand if it's a good time for them.
Yeah, absolutely. It all comes down to kind of help paving the way for them. You can't convince them to make the decision if it's not right, but it's important to give them the education and the knowledge. Like, this is what's going on. These are the numbers. These are some options. Have them talk with the lender and then let them take all this information and go, okay, you know what? This actually isn't as bad as I thought. Because 9 times out of 10, I have found that a lot of people think that it's worse than it is. And really, when they sit down and listen to the facts and they talk with the lender just to kind of get a game plan, no obligation whatsoever, they
Yeah.
realize, okay, this is actually more doable than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
It's just having them come in and talk with you. And that's the biggest thing is buyer appointments are huge.
Was it easier for them than they thought? Or did you provide enough value to make it easy for them?
So yes and yes. So giving them the education, definitely. That definitely helps them kind of change their perspective to where they're like, oh, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought. I'm in a different position. They gave me, so yeah, it's like me giving it's kind of like symbiotic. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You're educating them, telling them, this is what's going on. Come in and meet for 20 minutes. Let me help you get a game plan. If it seems right, great, let's do it. If it's not, then let's figure out how we can get you back in the market in the next couple months or 3 months or whatever looks more logical to you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it's
No,
Beautiful.
I think that's, you've given us some great information. I hope the listeners out there have enjoyed getting to know Shannan more. Like I said, you're going to see some amazing things from her. If you need to follow her, how do we follow you?
I'm on Facebook. Shannan Gurney Realtor on Instagram, and then Shannan Gurney on Facebook, and then be looking also because I'm going to be starting a YouTube page as well.
Awesome.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, awesome. We love you, Shannon. We're
Me
so
too.
grateful to have you here on the team, and like I said, it's definitely some inspiration for, our agents when Shannon's here, because
Thank you.
Thanks,
Everyone's just
Shannon.
amazing.
she gets in and does her
Oh, yeah.
work, and it commands everybody else to start doing their job. Like, okay, we're making our phone calls now.
Well, it's nice.
So,
It's easy to do that when you've got a really, really good team that's dedicated. So I
yeah,
think everyone works really well here
yeah,
together. We all have the same goal.
we do. So,
Beautiful.
appreciate it, Shannon, and we are signing out. So, appreciate you guys joining us from the Infinite. Where are we at now? We're in the Own It podcast. I need to record this stuff, but anyways, let's just get some music and get out of here.